do like black coffee.
No, that's that Al Jazeera stuff.
Is it?
Azera, whatever you call it. Al Jazeera, that's what we call it anyway. This episode is brought to you by new additions to the Wall of Badasses. Ed Brearley, David Simpson, Simmy, and his missus.
Jed Benson.
Jed Benson,
The
again.
Cheeky,
You're cheeky.
cheeky Jed.
You're already up there. Send it again.
Well,
Well, we're gonna put
we're
you up
going
anyway.
with it. We think you've earned it. Don't think anyone else can get away with it.
New addition to Wagon's World, Amanda.
Woohoo!
Cadwallader.
You were going to say that, and then I know exactly the thought process that went through your brain. You went, I'll say a second name, and you started saying it, and you immediately thought,
Backed out.
shit. But I've started, so I can't finish it.
I know. Hey,
I've done that so many times.
My name isn't easy either.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Dunn.
Capital F.
Yeah. Thistlethwaite.
Thistlethwaite.
Capital F, is it?
And we've got
And Richard Brown.
Manny from the Stone Roses.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, isn't it? All right. So, what we're going to talk about?
We're going to talk about, well, we've already done, when we kicked off Wagon's World, to start off with the content, I ran through Fire It Up and Fight the System, a track-by-track thing, just talking about each of the songs, and just what the words meant, where some of the stories around it, the songs, and just where they came from, really. And this obviously next one is Welcome to the World. That's the next one to do in order. And to be honest, this is the album that kind of. It was quite a big step up after that. I mean, there was a big step up for Fight the System from Fire It Up, but this one really was kind of our signature album.
Yeah, I think it's our songwriting when we kind of caught traction with that, and we started getting we got past the point where we've gone from learning the craft to we're kind of journeymen of the craft.
Yeah,
if you know what I
we
mean.
knew what we were doing, and also this was the second album with Matt at Axis Studios, and we knew it was great to know that we knew what we were getting with Matt and where we were at, because we knew that we had a great studio there, and we could achieve things. It was exciting to have to go back to see Matt. So
a lot of the time when you meet a new producer or a new engineer in a new studio, you spend a bit of time feeling each other out, so to speak.
That was Matt's favourite part.
That was Matt's favourite bit. He loved that bit. Went on for ages. But we didn't have to get through that this time around, when we went back to do it, because he knew what we were about. He knew what.
We had a relationship with him, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. The characters, and he was well up for it. Sent him a few demos, which I think was the first time we'd ever done anything like that as well.
Yeah, it was, definitely.
Some real rough and ready demos, but I do remember about this album. We were like not ready for it. We were not ready for going into the studio. We sort of booked it because back in them days we were like foot to the floor, and we wanted to keep. Other bands were just sitting on albums for years and years, waiting for the right moment, and we were like, no, keep writing, keep putting stuff out, keep.
You see, it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky because we recorded 3 albums with Matt. It's easier to remember the situation going into see Matt for Fight the System than it is with this one, because we've been there that many times. I can't separate.
I was thinking that before when we knew we were going to do this video.
Which and how we felt each time.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's hard. Yeah, like you say, it's hard to separate the times. Though this was done very quickly. This album, we did it in like 2 very short stints. I think it was the fastest album we ever made. In terms of the amount of time spent in the studio and mixing and everything.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
it was dead quick.
I remember going for Fight the System. I mean, obviously we radically changed things for this album because we were all there for the full thing at Fight the System. I think I remember sitting. We all went for the drums, and I just remember sitting in that room
for a week,
for hours and hours and hours and hours and doing nothing.
Yeah,
we just did nothing. We didn't need to be there, did we? But that changed for this.
Yeah,
although I think you were there for the whole thing, weren't you?
I was for this one. I was neck deep in it, so to speak. And
we were all still working full time then, weren't we? So
we had
to sort of plot around that, really.
It was great though. I remember loving the experience. I remember some of the songs, which we'll get into, really didn't come together until we were there recording it, and it did very quickly.
You'd think we'd have learned our lesson about that by now, wouldn't you? But
Yeah.
even on House of Noise, there were still songs we took to the studio that were like 3/4 of the way of
I
finished.
kind of like that though. I don't think we should.
It's
change
good
that.
there. It's great it's great that now because we know that they've got the setup for the
time.
the time you can finish a day's recording and then go and finish writing songs. Can't you? It's great.
You couldn't hear to do that was a waste of money, really. You know, because you're there. You got Matt's time, Matt's equipment.
Matt would even say,
What are you doing, lads?
why, where are these songs? Why have you turned
Yeah.
up with half a song written?
Yeah.
He'd probably say something like, all right then, it's not my album.
Yeah. I just don't understand, really. Yeah.
No, well, if that's what you want to do.
So anyway, right.
Yeah.
Song number 1.
Get into it.
Nails.
Nails.
And this was actually, I remember writing this.
About a bad experience at a nail bar.
Yeah. Nail salon. And we were right before we went in, because I remember sat in Alex's house at the time. Do you remember?
Was this the album? This is the album we wrote and practiced when Alex lived in your up North Road, wasn't it?
Yeah, North Road, yeah.
Right, now it's coming back to me a bit more. I can remember a bit more about it now, yeah.
Yeah. And,
I always liked practicing in that. I always liked practicing there.
they were comfy, weren't they? It was comfortable.
We'd never really practiced in anyone's house before, and it was kind of nice to turn up to someone's house.
Yeah.
Because Alex doesn't give a shit about... He'll just push the sofas aside and get the drum kit out, won't he?
And the drum kit just stayed there, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, you just had to move around the you know, like empty tins of tuna and stuff like that.
Yeah, the washing up that hasn't been tackled for a month.
But he was so we kind of wrote this album in a weird, just in a house really, just sat around like this on couches, and we had amps and everything. Alex had an electric drum kit, I think, at the time.
Because I mean, we were, as has been said before, we have gone through so many practice rooms, and we just kept getting sick and fed up with them. We couldn't find anywhere to practice, could we? So Alex got an electric kit, and we just thought, we'll get an electric kit, keep it turned down. I'll not have a microphone, just sing normally.
Yeah.
Take the little amps in, to keep them quiet.
Yeah, it was good.
That's how we did it.
And I remember Nails being one that was like, right, we've only got 8 songs here, and like a couple of others sort of began but not finished. And I remember Nails was the very last one. Might have been Nails and Fee-Fi.
Yeah, I remember Fee-Fi being the last one.
Very last, yeah.
I remember that process vividly.
Yeah,
but we'll get to that.
Yeah, and we were just like really trying to frantically get something finished, really. And I remember doing that right at the end, and then we got in and recorded it, and I remember it just sounding like Metallica, like that kind of load reload era.
Yeah,
Metallica.
it does. Yeah, it's still to this day it's just it's not really like anything else we've done, is it? It has. I love it, and people love it, and it's great to play live, and people love it being played live. And if it's left out of the set, I don't know if it's our best song, but I don't know how we define a best song really. But if that's left out of this set, that's the one that's. I'd almost go as far as to say people would say, "Why have you not played Nails?" rather than if you hadn't played Ratio.
Probably.
People say, "Oh, you didn't play Nails. Love that song." Because it's a real statement in our set anyway, isn't it? It's it kind of always play. We always tend to play it early on, don't we? Second or third, and it's like this. Whoa.
I kind of think it's almost like a weirdly back then anyway, when we were still playing. We still are now, but when we were still playing to a lot of new people, trying to win people over, it was like a security blanket to have that song.
Because we are a bit metal.
Because it was a fuck you kind of song. You know, it was like. We don't really care if you like it or not.
Yeah.
You know, whereas if you're playing something that's a bit more kind of, I don't know, I don't want to use the word.
Just use it.
Heartfelt or sincere or something, but something like
Soppy.
Ratio, something a bit soppy, yeah, basically. Nails is almost like, well, it's not my thing, but fair play, you know, you're having it.
You can't help but You can't help but play it with attitude, can you?
Yeah.
You mean it when you play it.
There was a time as well, like a couple of years ago, where I was getting a bit fed up of it, but then I kind of fell in love with it again, really.
What, playing heavy, the kind of heavy stuff?
Playing Nails.
Oh,
Just
Nails,
the song.
right.
I don't know, I just didn't.
I've never got tired of playing it. I think it's great. It just feels like a big release when you get out on stage and you're just screaming your head off. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, the phrase Nails, I nicked that. I used to be in the RAF with a Scottish guy called Aaron, and he used to say that phrase. Oh yeah, or that if something was really hard, it was nails. Oh yeah, I did this at the week. I don't know. I read a book at the weekend. It was nails, or
he's Scottish. He's Scottish, mate. I've tried reading this book. It was nails.
Well, whatever. I couldn't think of anything, or I did something that was difficult, or it was hard going, or it was nails, and that was a phrase he would always use.
I've heard it before.
Have you heard that before?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Nails. Yeah,
it was nails that, or he's nails. If somebody's tough or hard, they're nails. So I thought that's a great phrase. That's where it comes from.
Yeah, it's a good song. I like it.
And I love the well, it kind of like reminds me again a bit of a Schenkery sort of the solo. It's like it's not the solo you would expect in that song, is it? You'd expect listening to it for it to be some big fast shreddy solo, but it's a real slow.
Yeah. I must admit, I kind of at the time listening back to it after we recorded it, thinking that sounds really like kind of mature. It
does.
What I mean?
Yeah, I remember getting the when me and you got the final or the edits, the final mixes or whatever. The first time we got them on a CD, I think we asked him to put them on a CD. Oh no, that was right. We got them on we didn't get them on a CD. We were in my van, the Red Transit, and you had your laptop open and you had the USB plugged into it, so we could listen to it on the way home. And Nails played, and you just looked at me and just went like, fucking hell, that is fucking great.
Yeah, it was good.
And it was well impressive.
And it was like, right, that's song one.
Yeah,
because we didn't have a track order or anything written.
And do you know what? God love Massive Wagons fans. I've seen it. I saw it on a post only last week, I think. Planet Rock keep putting up these things saying, well, questions about music and stuff. And so I was like, what's the best opening track on an album? And somebody, the best 1-2 on an opening tracks on an album. And somebody wrote Nails Tokyo.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
No, I do see that quite a bit.
People love that. Alex's drumming, people love that.
Yeah,
that banging.
Good. And the track was, if you didn't know, there's a professional wrestler called Travis Banks.
Oh yeah.
And we entered a competition years ago. Just submit a track, and basically the wrestlers will listen to it and pick a track that they like and start using it as their intro music. And he picked it. And then used it well longer than he kind of had to.
Yeah, he was. He's a great bloke. We've sent him. He's invited us to come down and watch him do wrestling and stuff. We've never had a chance really. He's posts about us and stuff. Kept in contact with him. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
he's really talented at it. And I think he does. He's some sort of subsidiary of WWE. What he does now. What do they call it? I don't watch it, to be honest. Wrestling. What's the UK? It's kind of like a smaller. It's kind of like the underneath WWE.
I know what you mean,
like.
yeah.
But he's on the ladder, like.
It's an international thing, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's a hell of a guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. Like I remember people like if you go onto it's on YouTube somewhere, just Nails the track, and if you go and
is it NEXT? Is it called? I think it might be called.
Is that what it is?
It might be. I might be wrong. I'll shut up. I don't know anything about
wrestling. I can't. Well, it must be a fairly big deal because that video is just littered with comments, people saying like, I heard this. Such and such arena,
Well, that brought us loads of attention. Did that thing? We had loads of followers after that.
Yeah.
Because the wrestling fans are mad about wrestling, and they love all the music and everything, and we got loads of followers, and from that, looking great.
Yeah.
So there you go. Nails. I think that rounds that song off.
Best second song of any album ever written.
4 minutes 28. 4.5 minutes. There's some long songs on this album, isn't there?
It goes on too long, in my opinion.
I never really noticed.
Tokyo should finish a bit sooner because it's got that fade out.
It does drag on, doesn't it?
It could end 20 seconds earlier, and I think it
did we edit? Was Tokyo a single? We edited it. You edited it.
Yeah, I edited it.
That down to a better length, wasn't it?
It was, and I think we halved the middle section. When it goes into the intro bit again. Yeah. And it's one of them things where you just learn, the more you do this, it's something we would have recognised earlier on in the writing and the recording would have gone, now if we were writing that again, we'd go, that bit's too long.
There's just things, learning, getting better at what you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cutting out, trimming the fat, if you like. But I have to be careful because whenever we're playing shows, gigs, we've got them coming up, I will make a list, a playlist on my phone of the songs we're doing and sing them. And I have to be careful not to put
the single edit
in case that gets stuck in my head and I sing that instead of that one, because that's the one we play live, isn't it?
It's generally instrumental bits that get cut, and it's generally a chorus will be halved or something like that.
I think the intro's cut down on that as well.
Yeah. It was a good song though. I remember writing that, and I remember writing I had a different chorus written, I think, and we couldn't get it to work.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, we did have a different chorus. You're right. Yeah, a different chorus completely.
And then I kind of had a melody in my head, and then kind of did it backwards. Sort of I remember recording just a one string thing on the guitar, like going and then working out the chords that you'd need behind that, if you know what I mean. Gave you that, and then you wrote the words.
I had like a rough idea. I think I remember coming up with a rough idea for the words, and it was like an instant success. You were like, I think I said when you played as the song for the first time at Alex's house, I immediately was like thinking about it, and I said, wouldn't it be great to write a song about? I don't know why the word Tokyo popped in my head. It just sounded like what you were playing. I don't know. Just sounded like it fit the word, the music. And all big bands in the day, they all wind up in Tokyo, don't they? Japan, you know, that was kind of the 80s, the mecca in the 80s for the big rock and metal bands, wasn't it? Deep Purple and Scorpions and whoever else. And a lot of them have released live albums in Japan, haven't they? Or Tokyo. Yeah. It just seemed to be the place they all went to, wasn't it? Judas Priest.
Big in Japan.
Yeah, that's it.
I think they're. It's just a great, unique lyric. I love the take on it. You know.
Don't get me wrong. Two sides to this album. In one way, I wish we'd have the kind of the success we've been having on the Radio Planet Rock and with Classic Rock and Primordial and the kind of the radio stations that are really have a wider audience. I really wish some of these songs we could have had, because some crackers on here like Tokyo, but on the other hand, that was a real stab at because we were really, I think we were probably pissed off writing this album.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, because we had been at it. It's the number 3 album, and like I think we were trying to get played on radio stations, trying to get attention. Nobody was interested at all.
No,
and it was a real bitter, and that's a real bitter song. Is Tokyo. It's basically a stab at like radio stations and stuff. And I've had loads of radio DJs and people saying, "Yeah,
was it about me?"
Imagine it's a great song, but I bet it's about me, isn't it? Or it's about us, isn't it?
They'll fucking flatter yourself. It's not about, about you.
Yeah. But
whatever.
It is actually, yeah.
I think you've got to write. You can't be so safe with your writing. You know what I mean?
He was just being honest.
Yeah.
He was just like, well, if I'm going to be honest, I'm fucking pissed off. You know, give us some attention. We're slogging our guts out here. You know, I'm not doing this for nothing. I want some players on the radio. I want to, what have I got to do? Who have I got to sleep with? You know.
And this, it's kind of weird when you think back at the timeline. This seems like bloody a long time ago. But this album came out in April 2016, which is only just over 4 years ago. And what's changed in between? You know, it's crazy, really.
Yeah.
When you kind of think the very next thing we did after recording this album is we went on tour with Ginger Wildheart. And
crazy, that, isn't it?
You know.
Yeah, that is mad. Yeah.
That seems a lot more recent than it does.
It does. Yeah, than recording that. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Because this is the album he will have got, innit? This is the album he got and listened to and liked and said, "This is a fucking great album." This.
Yeah. Yeah. So Tokyo.
Except the Iron Maiden style one.
Yeah. He did say that, didn't he? Tokyo did. It opened a few doors radio-wise for us, ironically. So.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. And apart from as well as being a stab at the fucking. The stab at the radio and the stab at the magazines and stuff, it was the verses are a credit to the fans, if you like. It's We Love All Your Faces and all that. That's where that came. That's that song, in it. That's where that came from. And that's we'll keep playing in clubs and we'll keep playing all these songs. If you keep coming, we'll keep playing. And
despite it all,
despite us not getting on in other parts of what we the industry or whatever. But I feel a bit stupid singing it now, really. And it's still a banger. People love it. It's a fucking great song. And also, it was in the Classic Rock.
Yeah.
What an unbelievable thing that was.
Yeah.
Songs of the top 100 songs of the century so far.
So far, yeah.
And that was at like number 48.
It was. I think it was 70 odd, was it?
Oh, was it? All right.
Can't remember. Still being in the top 100.
Could have agreed.
Well, whatever. Being in the top 100.
Whatever it was, yeah. And I think whoever wrote the little comment said something like, just when you thought if you taking an old style, an old sound, and an old formula had been done to death, Massive Wagons come out and
make it fresh,
rejuvenate it, and make it interesting and fresh again, which is a great thing to.
Which is exactly what we kind of set out to do, really. Not really so much by design, but that's ultimately what, you know, bands in classic rock or whatever. If you can achieve that, you know, you're doing something that a lot of bands can fail to do. Really,
I think so.
So
we don't try and invent the wheel, do we? We just try and give it another spin.
Give it a good old polish.
Yeah, polish the wheel.
Well, Welcome to the World's a bit of an odd song, wasn't it? Really, I think in hindsight, it was probably recorded a little bit ploddy and a little bit slow. It could have done with a bit more gusto.
I think it's a sort of a hidden gem on this album. We've played it live a few times, but
not many times.
Not many times. I always thought it was a great song. We opened up with it. It was the set opener once at Hard Rock Hell.
Oh, I remember when we wrote it, we were convinced this was going to be like.
We were listening to at the time. We were listening to a band called Audrey Horne.
Oh, we were, yeah.
Yeah, and they've got some great songs. There's a song called Redemption Blues, which is a great song. And I remember there's a great bit in it where it goes. About 3/4 of the way through, it goes dun 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 dun, and it goes like really hard and chuggy from this sort of melodic up here, and we were stuck for a part in that. We sort of said, why do we fucking do that kind of thing?
That, yeah.
And it does have got an element of that, and then it goes fucking soars out of that, bang straight into the fucking chorus, and it's similar again. Another song that does that is the Muse song. Nights of Sidonia, that goes down into like a and then it comes out the other side into this big fucking chorus, and that's fucking.
That was the plan.
Yeah, obviously sounds nothing like that song. That's the formula, isn't it?
I think it could have just been livened up a little bit, really, in the benefit of hindsight. But it's a great song. I like it. I like Baz said, I think it's a underrated, really.
Yeah, there's a great video of it on YouTube. Of us playing it. Someone's filmed it. It's in black and white, I think. Filmed us play when we supported the Choir Boys at
and
Limelight.
Was that
2.
in Ireland?
Yeah, in Ireland, yeah. And there's a great video, and they videoed us playing that, and it's great.
Cool.
Somebody's written underneath some great comments on that little video. People saying this is great. This is rock. This rock music's fucking great.
Yeah.
And it was also, I think, was that the song we sang at? Oh no, that was. What was the song we sang for Primordial at the acoustic? Was that off Full Nelson?
That was Last on the List.
How was it Last on the List and Welcome to the World? Mixed up sometimes.
Well, we wrote Last on the List. Going a bit off topic here. We wrote that kind of right at the end of this.
Right.
So that song always sounds like, I always thought it sounded more like it belonged on this album.
That was the song we wrote for Full Nelson, wasn't it? But yeah, but again, if you listen to the lyrics, it's a
moan.
It's a very moany song, isn't it? It's a we're not happy with what we're doing. Somebody pay some attention, please.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the most classic rock we've ever sounded. You know what I mean? It's sounds like Saxon. You know that kind of new wave of British.
I like. Yeah, you said it's kind of the tempo. It's got the Saxon tempo in it.
Yeah, it could have just been doing livened up a little bit, but I think still think it's a good song, and I love the pre-chorus. I love the "Welcome to the world where the sun is always shining."
Bowser hates that bit, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
he hates that bit. I think it's a great little bit in the song.
Oh well, I don't know.
What does he know?
Yeah, what does he know? So Welcome to the World.
There we go.
Ratio.
This next one's shit, isn't it?
Ratio.
4 minutes 51. Again.
It's an epic, isn't it?
It's long, isn't it?
Too long.
We've written some long songs. Nearly a prog band, aren't we?
Ratio, yeah. I mean, that. Well, we can really say about that. Become a bit of a kind of
a mainstay, isn't it?
Crowd favourite. Yeah.
Yeah. We played it in Blackpool, and a few weeks ago. And did you see there was people at the back of the room? I thought they were going to get thrown out.
Yeah.
They couldn't help themselves. They were stood up and.
A socially distanced gig where you're supposed to sit down and not sing.
Sit down and shut up.
It's a weird one though. Again, I think this song is one that just could have done with being a bit snappier, just a little bit tempo. I don't know. You can't really complain with the results it's got, because I mean it was the song that sort of made a lot of people sit up and go, "Oh my God, this is
even
great,"
now
you know?
people people still bang on about it, don't they?
Yeah, it's good. It's
songs.
really good song. There's not much more to say about it, really. It's a simple formula. It's in a weird tuning, guitar-wise, if you've ever sort of tried to play along with it.
We wrote this when we were practicing. We must have been practicing for a few weeks at the co-op in Lancaster, the musician co-op.
Yeah.
I remember writing this in there.
I remember writing it and going, that's good, that.
Yeah, well, I remember bringing the lyrics, and then you played it, and then I sang it, and then everybody just went, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's good.
Fucking hell, that is good. This all sounds like something good here. It was like a smiles all round. Let's work on it now.
Yeah.
I love it when that happens. It doesn't happen very often, and it doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't mean the song's going to do anything more, but it's just a really nice feeling when everybody looks at everybody else and just goes, "Did you hear that? Did you feel that?" It's, you know, Hate Me was the same. That was done at Lancaster Co-op.
That was, yeah.
That was another one when we got it all together and then we sang it and played it. Everybody was like, "Fucking hell, this is good."
Simple. I think it's the simple formula. You know what I mean? There's like 4 chords in both of them songs. It's dead easy to play.
Yeah.
You know? But it just caught a vibe. You know, it caught a moment in the studio. The way it was recorded, Baz's delivery. Don't know. Just got something.
It's the first song as well that I ever sang. I also wrote it because I didn't want to carry on singing all the like high and as how high and how hard can I sing it. It was the first time I'd ever sung anything that was like la, 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 down there somewhere, which I thought might be a bit of a gamble, and I thought it might sound shite. But no, it doesn't, because the chorus stands out because you do that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got dynamics, hasn't it? The chorus, it lifts because the vocals lift.
Yeah.
And great song. I mean,
yeah. I don't know what it's about, to be honest. It's just a lot of waffle. But yeah, no, it's done as well. And the video, we made the video with Pav, didn't we, for that?
That was a fun day.
Yeah.
Anyone was at the pub? I know there's a few people in here. They were there.
Yeah, the crowd shot at the end, yeah.
Yeah. Good. It was just a good vibe all around that song, and I can't ever see us not playing it. Really, at some point, it's always going to be in and out of the set. Probably.
Mate, the only time we've never played it is if we've had a set that has to be like 20 minutes, and if
it doesn't fit in short sets.
No, it doesn't.
Although we did play it at Download, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. But we didn't play a couple of nights at the Skinner dates, did we? Because we thought it dragged a bit, really. Because we were playing. I think we played Hero. We were like, well, we need a bit of. The set needs a bit of movement. It can't be Hero ratio.
Yeah, exactly.
No, there's going to be 2 slow songs.
Play with the tempos. Yeah.
We've got 20 fucking minutes here. We've got to keep people in the knackers, haven't we? But yeah, no, great song. Love it. Shit, Sweat, Death. Yeah. Shit, Sweat, Death. It's about me mourning about bands singing songs about rivers. There's a lot of bands sing songs about rivers.
Going down the river.
Go down to the river.
Yeah. Wash my sins away.
Yeah, and all that shit. Speak to the Lord.
Yeah.
At the river. Does God live near the river? Does he?
It's just all that. I don't know, but it's not so bad if you're from, on the bayou or whatever in Mississippi, or when you're in,
Manchester, down at the Ship Canal.
Yeah, exactly. When you've got to go down the river.
That's our river. Yeah. So I thought I want to write a song, words about what you really find at the river, which is like shopping trolleys, dog shit, condoms, needles, dogging, smackheads, stuff like that, innit?
I nicked the riff from a. Let's be honest here.
See you in court.
Yeah, I see you in court, Brad. I nicked it from a. Well, I didn't nick. I nicked the technique from an exercise, and it's one Brad Paisley. He does, a country guitarist, incredible player, and it's got like an open tuning, which I was sort of playing with at the time. I was sort of playing with open tunings at the time, sounding like bloody Keith Richards here, aren't I? And no, Jimmy Page, not Keith Richards. He's always banging on about it, isn't he? But he and I just like, that's something different, It's definitely got that country vibe in it.
Oh yeah. Again, I remember this one, the Lancaster Co-op. I remember what room we were in when we played it, and it was like, yeah, this is great. And it's got I think it's got the chorus has got like an Aerosmith.
Does yeah.
And it goes that da da da.
And Lauren as well, Lauren Hutchinson.
Oh yeah. Well, and young Steve plays the slide at the start, doesn't he?
Steve Ravier.
And Lauren's booming vocals are on the chorus, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, she absolutely killed it. Amazing.
It was great, and I was in 2 minds about calling it Shit, Sweat, Death because A few people said, "You really want to call it shit, sweat, death? People aren't gonna like that." Well, we went with it, didn't we? Fuck it.